guys, so today I will be talking about the legend of the Loch Ness Monster. They don't have like a stand for this, so I'm going to be holding it the whole video. So the Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie, is a sea creature that lives in Loch Ness, Scotland. As you can see, it's quite beautiful. I would love to actually visit one day. I think that's my bones creaking. Let me hold it like this. Okay, I think that's better. Anywho, so it's actually described as a large, deep, freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands. And it actually has the largest volume of fresh water in Great Britain. This legend actually goes way back during ancient times when a tribe known as the Picts, who inhabited the Scottish Highlands, they had drawings of animals all around the stone, around the area. A lot of these animals you can easily identify. There's some that you really can't, I don't even know what it is. So as you can see, that's clearly a fish on the bottom. But that animal on top, I literally cannot tell you what that is. If you were to picture the Loch Ness Monster, I think that would be what you would envision. And you can see that those are horses and Monster. Like, whenever you look up the Loch Ness Monster, or you think about the Loch Ness Monster, like, this is the photo, the first photo that, like, comes to mind, or it's the most famous one. But in the end, this was actually proven to be a hoax after 40 years. So I didn't really get the story too much, but it was something about Ian Weatherall, which was the son of Marmaduke. He had called the photo a hoax. He contacted his stepbrother, who confessed on his deathbed that it was in fact a hoax, and that Marmaduke he just wanted revenge, and he was upset about the whole hippo hoax, and he staged the whole thing. So it was basically, it was like a kid toy, like a submarine, and then like a handmade cutout of the neck of the Loch Ness Monster. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the most recent findings. So in 2003, the BBC conducted the largest ever search for the Loch Ness Monster, but they did not find anything. And in 2014, the monster was spotted on Apple Maps, which I will insert a picture right here so you can see. Experts say that it's a picture of a boat. I'll let you be the judge of that. In 2017, this photo was taken by an amateur photographer. His friends say that these were 3 seals playing, but the man who took the photo suggested that it could be the Loch Ness Monster. So in 2017, a lady was watching a live stream of the loch, and she claimed to have seen the head of the beast pop out of the water. In 2017, a 9-year-old boy took this picture while on a cruise with his mama, and he claims that it's the fin of the Loch Ness Monster. And a couple claimed to have seen Nessie too while on their honeymoon, and they snapped this picture, which they also claimed it was the fin. Then this next picture was taken by 2 Australian tourists while they were driving alongside the loch after they saw something big and fast moving in the water. And then this one is interesting. A father and a son in Georgia, as in Georgia in the United States, they found a dead creature lying on the beach, and they thought it was a dead eel. But when they got closer and they inspected it, the dad was like, I've never seen this before. And it was being eaten by birds. And as you can see, it is a weird looking creature, and it is what you would think the Loch Ness Monster looks like. In 2018 or 2019, I couldn't get the year right, but scientists actually studied the DNA taken from the loch, and they discovered the DNA of over 3,000 different species in the water, but none of the DNA was monster DNA. In 2019, this video was actually taken. It looks like it's like a giant eel, but people believe that it was actually real footage of the Loch Ness Monster. And this is hard because eel DNA was discovered in the loch, and eels are they're known to be in the loch, so it could have been an eel. So now we're gonna get down to the theories. So the first theory is that Nessie is actually a plesiosaur that lives in the depths of the Loch Ness.
shark. It's just too big to bring on board. We'd only injure it trying. We'll have to tie it alongside. It's a monstrous thing to find this far inland and to bring up from such a depth as well, but we're just trying to get the tail rope on it now.
And I would not be surprised if a lot of these sightings were of Greenland sharks, because if you look at them, they have a long body, which they can grow to be about 20 feet long. They just, if you were to just see like the top of it, you'd think it's the Loch Ness monster, or like